It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I'd like to first thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on a podcast. I am just so very grateful and thankful for each one of you. And every single one of you is in for a very special treat today, as I am just overly excited to have with me my returning monthly diva, Beth Lauren Parrish, and her and I are going to chat about how hypnotherapy works. Oh my, you are all in for a very special time today. So Beth, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Hi, Joyce. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Beth Lauren Parrish, and my business is Inspired Riding. I'm a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and now I am certified in rapid transformational therapy, which is a unique form of hypnotherapy. And I encourage equestrians to slow down, trust their intuition, and listen to their horses so they can build confidence and have the best co-creative dances with their horses.
Oh, wow. Wow. With everything else you are, now you've incorporated the hypnotherapy, and I love the rapid transformational therapy is how you called it. That's, oh goodness, that is really neat, and it's going to help the rider along with helping them to have a better co-dance with their horse. So, what more can you ask for it? That is just awesome.
It's like the icing on the cake for all the things I offer is pretty much what I call it now.
Oh, that is just great. Well, how would you like to start to explain to our listeners how hypnotherapy works? I will just let you kind of lead into it, and we will just chat from there.
Well, hypnotherapy in itself is a beautiful method to help people transform their lives. The specific one that I studied was created by Marissa Peer, and it's called rapid transformational therapy. And it's a combination of hypnotherapy along with other modalities. It's very unique, and it's called rapid because you can actually have a transformation in your life within 1 to 3 sessions. So it's not meant to be really long, ongoing therapy. So the amazing thing is you incorporate hypnotherapy in there simply to relax your conscious mind and allow your subconscious to have the spotlight and really get to the heart of what's going on in your life. What's the root cause of the issue that you're having? So if you were to explain it, in a simple terms, when you're in hypnosis, you're basically in such a relaxed state that it's very much like when you're driving your car home from work. You know that route so well. It's ingrained in your subconscious. So your subconscious can take over and get you home, and you could be talking on the phone, hopefully with the Bluetooth, or listening to an audible book, and so focused on other ideas besides driving home that you can get home and not remember the turns that you took because your subconscious took over, because it has that pattern that's completely ingrained. So it's very much like if you were to think of your mind as a computer, the subconscious is running all those programs in the background. So let's say you have a program that's not working for you, then what we do is we figure out where that's coming from, where the bugs are, and we clean those up. So we have to debug the program, clean it up, and then then you can install the new programming with the transformation at the end. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense to me. So basically, I mean, what came to mind, say you're going into your subconscious mind, and maybe there's something that always triggers somebody to get upset, or maybe it's a fear factor. What am I understanding that you, in the subconscious, that's what's triggering it, and through hypnotherapy you can go back in and find out, and it may go back to childhood even, where this problem was created, and you've carried it in your subconscious throughout your entire time here in the universe. Is that correct?
Exactly. And the amazing thing is, we can get to the root cause of the issue by talking to the subconscious, and it'll bring up a scene from the past that we might not even remember. And that's the most amazing part. That's the most surprising part in all the sessions. And the person having the session is completely aware of what's going on. It's not like they've gone to sleep and they wake up and they don't remember anything. They remember it all, and they're fully interactive with me. So I help them sort through, why is this scene coming up? Like, what's the significance? What is the meaning that you put onto this moment in time in your life? And it might not be that big a deal in the big scheme of things, but maybe when you were little, you experienced something and you created a meaning to that experience, and it held through the rest of your life, and it's been holding you back. So we basically scrape the bottom of the barrel, and we look at all of the things that are causing the issue that you have today, and then we basically create new meaning for it and say, hey, I don't need to hold those beliefs anymore. That's not serving me in any way. So it's phenomenal. For example, like for me, I think I mentioned in the last podcast, but I used to shake before I would talk in front of a crowd or do a live video. And the reason was, when I was 5 years old, my parents took me to see the Broadway show Little Shop of Horrors, and that was where an alien plant would eat people. So my little 5-year-old mind basically thought that when you're on stage in front of people, you're running the risk of being eaten by a monster. So I would start shaking, and that was just what started to happen. It was fascinating. So once I learned that, I was like, oh, I don't need that anymore, and now I'm completely relaxed and at ease, and I don't have any of the shakes anymore.
Oh, my word. Oh, that is so interesting. That is wild, because who would have ever corresponded those two together? Because, I mean, you wouldn't have thought that was the problem. You were trying to figure out, why do I do this? And then did you remember that you had associated it that way? Or was it your subconscious mind?
I do remember seeing the play, and I remember being a little bit frightened. But it didn't click in the reason why I was shaking. And I was like, oh, this all makes sense now. So that's the beautiful thing, is you have like these light bulb moments during your session, because you're so relaxed and you're just letting the subconscious give you the scenes that are relevant to what you need to sort out. And it's amazing how it works. And it's a very specific protocol that RTT has presented. And it's amazing when you follow this protocol, like how it really helps people transform so quickly, because they get to the heart of it, they understand it, and then they realize it is definitely not serving them anymore, and then they can move on.
Right. It's like you're clearing a negative energy vibe out of their body that has been causing issues all of this time. In a lot of ways, it's pulling the negativity out. Oh my goodness! Now, for you, did it take only one session to figure out about why you were shaking, or did it? I'm just curious how many sessions it took to go back and find the root of your problem.
Yeah, that one was just one. It was amazing. And then the other one was, I was afraid of jumping. I love jumping, but I would get butterflies, and I just thought that was part of life, but it didn't have to be. So basically my body was trying to warn me that danger could happen anytime you go over a jump, because I had a severe concussion when I was 11 when I was jumping with a young horse. And so once we discovered that connection, the last time I was jumping with Pepper, even with little jumps, I would get the butterflies, and I would be so annoyed by it, but I would just kind of just try to muscle through it. But the last time I rode him, I didn't have any, and it wasn't until like I was almost done jumping, I looked at my husband and I went, I didn't have any butterflies. That was so relaxing and fun. And Pepper, of course, appreciated that because he loves to jump. So that was like a huge I was like, this is amazing. So for me, that was just incredible. So I'm excited once the weather cools down and I can get back to some proper training and do more jumps later on. I don't do it in the humidity, you know.
Yes.
But
I'm
really
sure
to go back to. So for my clients, I mean, some of them, one in particular, I'm just so proud of her. And we just posted a video on my website so you could actually watch her explain where she was and how it shifted so quickly. But she had not been riding in over almost a year actually. And after one session, Joyce, she got back on and she rode like almost every day since then.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and I was
how
like,
incredible.
this is so cool. I mean, I've been doing what I call power sessions where I would just coach people and we were just talking consciously. But when you get to the subconscious connection and you get to the root cause of what's holding them back, it's magical. Yeah. And that's just one example. I've done almost close to 60 sessions now since the end of May.
Oh, wow.
And every single one is unique, and nearly 90% of all my clients get a transformation within the next day. So.
Oh, that is just incredible. It is so amazing how your subconscious mind that you don't even realize is almost not like dictating, but kind of programming you how you're going to react and what you're going to do, and you're not even realizing it. That's what is so interesting, what a big part in your life your subconscious mind plays.
It's astounding. And once you actually realize it, you're like, ooh, what else do I need to change? What else can I make better? You know? So not only does it help to like get past trauma or really unpleasant things, it could also help you enhance your life. Like I had one client, she was just really nervous about going to competitions because she was going to be seeing her old trainers and her old barn mates that, they didn't necessarily leave on good terms, or maybe just in her mind it was like that. So I helped her find new meaning towards what her relationship was with her horse, what her relationship was with working at a horse show, at a competition, and how she could just be indifferent to whatever people say or do around her. So it wouldn't feel like such stress. It would just be her way of showing how much they've accomplished together, her and her horse. So no matter what happened, it would be no big deal. And it was phenomenal. She said that recording was transformative, and she did so well at her next competition. I was so proud of her.
Oh, that's awesome. So basically, kind of with her, it helped her to see the positives that were happening between her and her horse, rather than thinking about the negativity that had happened in the past between maybe her and some trainers or some stables or some different things. Oh, I love that. You're pulling you're taking the negative away and looking at the positives. And oh, isn't that what life's about, is to look at the positives? I love that. That's another beautiful one.
Yeah, whatever you focus on gets bigger, so you might as well think and believe in the things you really want in life, So it's...
Oh, and one question I was going to... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I said it's important to be so diligent about your thoughts. Like, I will literally just, imagine a stop sign in my mind if things are getting on the downhill side, and I go, hey, wait, stop. How is this serving me? It is not. What should I be focusing on? What should I be thinking about? And then I start getting to the creativity and the curiosity, and then it gets to be way more fun. But once you start to realize you have the power to change those thoughts, it's a game changer.
Yes, it truly is. Because if you start, I catch myself as starting thinking of things that it really doesn't matter. And I'm like, why am I thinking this way? Let's think a positive. Think something good and what we're going to do to make this into a positive situation. And your whole attitude changes. It's just amazing what a difference it makes when you put that stop sign up and stop your mind from going into the negativity field and go into the positive and the grateful and thinking of different things that are the positive parts of it. And it's amazing how it changes your life. I just love that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so much better. And you just keep reaching for those better feeling thoughts every day. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Well, and the question I had when you were saying about your butterflies went away with jumping with Pepper, did you, when you thought about it then, did you feel that Pepper was more relaxed because you had maybe relaxed a little bit more from where you had been before you knew what was causing your butterflies? Did you feel that ride was a little more relaxed with Pepper?
Absolutely. He's like the best biofeedback for me. So like even today, like if I even think about pushing a little too much, he just puts on the brakes and I'm like, yep, okay, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna just bring up my energy from my lower dantian, my lower belly, and breathe it up, and then relax again, and then just say, are you ready? And then he just goes. So I don't need to kick him anymore ever. Like that's what he's trying to tell me. So when that last session when I was jumping, it was amazing because we both were just simpatico. It felt perfect. Like you were just like, yep, we're doing this. Yep, we're good. Like there was no worry for either of us. There was no tension. It was just fun, relaxation, and of course excitement. You know, it was like, hey, we can have fun now and not have to worry about mom stressing out.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say Pepper's going, she's finally figured it out. She can finally relax and I can jump.
I think Pepper and I have that conversation every day. Like, oh, good, you're finally figuring me out, you know? Because every day I learn a little more nuance with him. It's so fascinating. Like, the quieter I get and the less I ask for, the more I learn and receive from him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe that. They have so much to give if we just let them give. And just relax in that moment and just take it in, because they are such a giving animal. It's just unbelievable. They are just magical. There's no other words to describe them.
Totally. Yeah, I can see his horn most of the time as a unicorn.
Oh, awesome. Well, now with the hypnotherapy, are you doing a lot of your sessions remotely, or are they mainly in-person sessions?
They're actually all remote. I've been doing every single one through Zoom. The only ones I've done live were actually with my husband here at the house. But everything's remote, which is so wonderful because then nobody has to worry about driving to and from. And, you know, and it's in the comfort of their own home, so they can be relaxed and know that they're not going to be disturbed. So it's actually really, really well thought out. And we have special techniques to help people relax even more through video chat. So, yeah, you can do it through Zoom meetings, and that's been the easiest thing for me.
Oh, wow. Well, and it sounds like you can help all realms of people, even if they're not involved in the horses themselves, which hard for me to realize that people aren't involved in horses, but because I love them so much, but I know there's a lot of them that are not. So it's something that you can come in and help them with any kind of problems that maybe they're not even realizing in their life, any trigger points, even if they are not involved in the horse world. Is this correct too?
This is correct. So by default, most of my clients are looking for help with their, riding confidently out and about. But I do have quite a few clients that have been coming to me, and I'm pretty much open to working with whatever someone needs, as long as it's within my realm. I have clients that just have general anxiety, some that just have sadness and grief that they're working through. I had one phenomenal results who was having issues with money. I can read you her testimonial. She said, I was constantly running out of money, and I had no idea why. I lived with constant fear, guilt, and shame. I was unable to track my finances because I was too afraid to look at how my money was coming in, where it was going. I felt extremely undeserving of financial security, let alone financial success. So after her one session with me, she said, I can control my financial outcomes. I feel empowered and capable of making any changes necessary to stabilize and improve my finances. I was also surprised that the pit of fear that I used to wake up with every morning had vanished. I mean, I get chills reading that. So it's such a blessing that this is helping so much. And I feel so grateful that I went ahead and did this. Because I was also in the middle of creating my app at the time that I signed up with this program. It took roughly 7 months. It could be 6 to 12 months to complete the certification. Yeah, and I've had people just needing help with just confidence in their business. I had one wonderful woman who wanted help getting confident driving. She had some traumatic experiences as a child in cars, and so just to be able to learn to drive was a big deal. And so her instructor already saw the difference after one session. He was like, you don't seem like the same person. I'm not freaked out with you anymore. That was huge. I was so proud of her. Yeah, it's amazing how this works. It does feel like magic. So this, I'm really grateful, like I said, that I went ahead and learned it, and now I can help so many people in so many different ways. So if you're a horse person, I can help you. If you have a partner or friend who's not into horses and they have things they've just been struggling with for a really long time, this could be the answer for them. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Well, just what you were talking about with the financial part and with anxiety and dealing with grief, those are all things that touch so many different people's lives in this world and to know there's someone out there in something like what you're doing in a remote session, and a lot of people are seeing results in one session, which is just absolutely incredible. Oh, man, you touched on some of the key points that I hear people talk about that they're having trouble in their lives. So that's incredible. Wow. Now, are your sessions normally an hour, 2 hours? How long do you usually go with a session when you have a client on a Zoom?
They've been averaging right about 90 minutes. What I do is if people are interested in working with me, we do a strategy call first, which is free, and so they can book that on my website. And that just makes sure that we're compatible and that I can definitely help them. And then once we agree and they go for it, then they have a pretty extensive form to fill out, which has them really think about consciously, what's been holding them back and how they would like to live their life if that issue is completely gone. So I have them kind of cast into the future a thought of what it would feel like. And once they do that, then I can take that and I actually create their transformation script, and it's a 15 to 20-minute recording that I create in text form. And so at the very end of the session, once they've understood why they have the issue and we've released it, then I read out loud to them the script, and then I record it, and then they listen to that for 21 days straight, because that's enough time for the mind to learn by repetition. So you keep focusing on what you actually want, because in the moment when you first start, it feels unfamiliar and strange when you make a change. But if you keep listening to the recording, you can step into the updated version of yourself more and more. And so by the end of the 21 days, it should feel so natural to like hear these thoughts and believe those beliefs,
Yeah.
And you have to create a new picture in your mind of what you want to step into. And it's amazing. One of my favorite things is watching the light bulb happen during the session, and then my second favorite is to create the transformation script for the client, because I'm like, oh, this is going to be so good. I get so excited. It's quite the process, but it's so worth it, because I love being able to help people make these changes and so quickly.
Yes, yes, definitely. Well, and after one session and then just listening to that for 21 days, I mean, 21 days is a short period of time. I mean, that flies by so quickly, and to be able to transform your life through a 90-minute session and then listening something for 21 days, a few minutes each day, what a short period of time to change what has held you back from becoming the true person that you were created to be. So, wow, that is just beautiful, Beth. I am just overwhelmed. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I just keep thinking to myself every day, I'm like, this is my life. I get to help people, and I've always looked to make an impact, but this, I feel like, is, like I said, it's the icing on the cake. Like, all of my offerings are amazing, but now I can help people really uniquely and specifically for their issue. And then once they have released those, then they can go back and work on my programs and my courses, and it's going to be even that more impactful for them. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
Oh, it is. It is very exciting. Well, Beth, this interview has just flown by, which I knew it would, and you have given such great information. Would you please tell the listeners how they can connect with you when they hear this and go, oh my, I need to speak with Beth? How is the best way for them to connect with you?
Oh, thank you. They can go to my website, inspiredriding, riding.com, and they can see on the menu, there's a little section that says RTT, and they can click on that, and there's a page right there for them to read all about how this works, and they can contact me that way through my website. Okay.
Oh, perfect. And I'm on your website as we're speaking, and oh my, it's a beautiful website, and then the RTT is just beautiful too. You're just like, okay, I'm ready to do it. When you look at this, for anyone that needs to connect and find out what some of their help relieve some of their trigger points, negativity in their life. Oh, how beautiful, Beth. Thank you so much for sharing with our listeners today and myself this great information about how hypnotherapy works. This was just awesome. Thank you again, Beth.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. And you and Pepper have an absolute magical day today.
We will. You too. Take care.
Thank you. And I would also like to thank each one of our listeners who has tuned in live and who will be listening to the podcast for listening to this amazing, amazing interview with Beth Lorne Parrish and the great information that she shared with us today on how hypnotherapy works. And so I want you to share this with all your family and friends. And thank you all for being here today. And be sure to check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have an absolute magical day. Remember, kind to all. Give your animals that great big hug and share your love with them. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.